Okay. All right. We're it's another episode of Geeks Who Drink and stuff, and we talk hardware and we talk all kinds of stuff, and I think we're going to have more 3080 ranting today, and we're going to have more we're going to have more on the side of what we got going on. Um Hold on, give me 1 second here, dude. Let me look at my mic volume here cuz I want to see if I can turn down Discord just a little bit. There we go. All right, speak.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. There we go. It's not picking up on my mic because I have open back Sennheisers, so they kind of
Mm-hmm.
echo through. So I just want to make sure that the volume is low enough that it's not picking it up in my mic when you're talking, so that way it's not like an echo.
Okay.
But but anyways, we're I still don't have a 3080. My pre-order still didn't get here. I'm rather upset.
What's been almost 3 weeks now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Almost a month, dude.
I'm probably going to be last one in line, knowing my luck.
Yeah. I said what, 6 months?
Mhm.
I think it's gonna be 12 months now.
Honestly, I'm not confident. I'm not confident.
Oh, you were confident when I was saying that. You're like,
I
no, it's gonna be a month.
I was. I'll give you that. I was very confident because I was like,
No,
"There's no
dude.
way. There's no way. I've had nothing but good luck with Nvidia. There's no way."
Yeah. No, dude. There's just each day, yeah, pretty each day, I keep reading these updates, and they're getting worse and worse. And I don't know if that's from their PR company try to like get more money out of people, you know.
I I don't know either,
I
man.
don't know.
I don't know. I'm at the point now where I'm just like, yeah. Like that's just kind of where I'm at with that. I'm just like, maybe I should just maybe I'll just walk away for a little while. you
Yeah.
know? Oh man. But yeah, no, uh I was just sitting at home last night. Just I got home from work really late. I think I went in at 6 yesterday morning, or I got in at like 6:15, and I get there and I got my coffee in one hand, and phone starts ringing, and it didn't stop ringing until 20 after 2 that afternoon. And then we took there was like a 15-minute break, and then it started ringing again. So it literally stopped ringing long enough for me to eat a sandwich, and then I had more phone calls. And then it kept ringing until 5:45 that night. Um, so yeah, I didn't get home till probably 10 after 6, I think.
Hmm.
But anyways, like that's not the whole point of the story. The point of the story is this: is I get home, turn on my computer, and I just sit there and I'm just like, what am I gonna do? I don't even know what I'm gonna do. I don't even know what I'm doing right now. I was so tired. I didn't even know what the hell I was doing.
Wow.
I was just I was that tired. I was just like, um, what was I gonna do?
Yeah, all of a sudden it's 2 in the morning. You're sleeping in your chair.
Oh man, it felt like that was gonna happen. Not gonna lie, it felt like that was gonna happen.
It's like I can't make it to bed, man. This seems like a good place.
I was tired. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I
Then
had I got I
your cat wakes you up by jumping on your lap. You're like, what the hell?
yeah, that was another thing that I was worried about. um, but yeah, uh, what was I gonna say? Um, so anyways, I get on my computer. Finally remembered what I wanted to do after 5 minutes, and and I sat down and I was just looking around and looking online and stuff, and I was looking for I was looking. I'm still pricing out some parts because I want to change some really big pieces in my PC, but I still have to finish a couple of other builds. And I'm just looking around for some parts because I had like a particular idea that I really wanted to see through. So, the one thing I was looking at was I think I kind of want to go and see if I can. I want to build another computer, and I want to retire the one that I have when everything is all said and done. I want to make that like the sim rig. So there's some really specific parts I need for that. Like I need some more hard drives. I basically need to reformat my computer. So when I turn it into the sim rig, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull all my hard drives out and I'm going to reformat everything so that way I can run it RAID 1 right away. And I'm going to take all my files from that and then just like dump it onto another computer. Dump it onto my new computer that I build. And so I was just looking for some really particular parts for that. And as I'm looking around, I've also kind of been looking for a new mouse pad. Not because I'm sick of the Rick and Morty one, but because I kind of want one. I kind of just want something that's a little bit softer, that has a little bit of like a wrist rest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was kind of looking around, and dude, we were talking about component prices going up. I couldn't find a mouse pad for under $60.
Oh wow.
I'm like, what the hell is this? It's a mouse pad.
They're not making those anymore.
No, they make them. They make them. They just, for some reason, like, they got really expensive.
Huh. I don't under. That's weird.
Yeah, I was like, I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. I just saw that and I'm like, you're kidding me, right? Like, this isn't a thing. Like, I'm on Newegg right now and I'm looking at some of these, and these are okay. So the most expensive one is about $60, but the least expensive one is like $23, and that's a really really simple one. All of them have programmable RGB, which that wouldn't be the number one reason why I'd buy it. I really want it more for, like, I want to have an attachable, like, wrist support. Because I don't like the plastic ones that come with keyboards. I don't know if I'm the only one out there, but I don't like the plastic ones that come with a keyboard. They just, to me, they're worse than just resting your wrists on the desk. So yeah, I not a big fan of that. And I like the least expensive one, like I said, is $20. The most expensive one that I'm seeing here is like $60. And it just, to me, that seems like a lot. Like, I am not giving you $60 for a desk pad. Because it's not really a mouse pad, it's a desk pad. Because I would want like an extended desk pad. Because I like that. I like having that full coverage. But yeah, what do you have? Do you have a whole desk pad, or are you just or do you
Well,
have? Yeah,
mine's it came with the mouse.
Oh,
Not the keyboard. A keyboard. It came with the keyboard, not the mouse.
that's right, because you got that bundle kit.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't mind it. There's probably still better ones, like you said. There's probably still ones better for your arm, but or your wrist, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, but still, $60 for a mouse pad?
Yeah. No.
Like, I swear everything's gone up in price.
Now, is that just now? Are you talking just about RBG ones, or is that
No,
like
no, 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 no. Some of these are just like regular pads. Some of them are just like regular desk pads, and it's ridiculous. But the other thing that I noticed too is RAM prices have gone up huge.
Oh, I bet, dude.
Like even like low cast latency stuff, like the stuff that has a very particular use, that stuff has gone way up.
Yeah, dude. I think that's also compared to consoles. The consoles that's being
Yeah, I
released
mean
too.
a lot of that stuff. The biggest reason why it's all gone up is because it's specific application stuff. Like if you look at like laptop RAM, because I know on a lot of I think on a lot of Alienwares, I think you can take them apart and you can swap out RAM. You can hot swap RAM. I definitely know you can do it with ROG ones, and you can do it with Razors. There's some other ones where you can hot swap RAM. Um, but yeah, like even like the laptop stuff. $56 for one stick of 16 gig DDR4 RAM. $60 for one.
Yeah.
It's $118 for Vengeance 32 gig, 2400 megahertz. My cat's losing his mind. I don't know if he can hear that or not.
I think he can.
Yeah. But like RAM itself, it's gotten so damn expensive. It's ridiculous. And you're not even in like the high megahertz stuff. Like you're not even in the high speed stuff. And in the last couple of months, like that's just what it's done. It's gotten ridiculous, man. Like G-Skill. Like I've been looking at the G-Skill Neo, the Trident Z Neos, cuz I want like a nice low cast latency, high frequency, you know, big gigabyte size. I'm thinking like 32 or 64 gig. And even that's like almost $400. It's like Jesus Christ. Like less than a year ago, you could pick that stuff up for like $200. It's insanity.
Wow. That is.
I wonder if it isn't because of like the metal shortages and stuff. But yeah, I really have nothing. I can't believe that. What have you been seeing out there? Because we haven't done anything with yours. Like we haven't done anything with your memory setup other than just add hard drives, have we?
Yeah, but
That's what I thought. I didn't think we changed out yours. Cuz you've got what? 3600 gigahertz or 3200?
32.
Okay. So yeah, you're right in that Ryzen sweet spot. Um, but yeah, I've like I said, I've just been looking and looking and looking and fucking hey, man, it's just ridiculous. Like I see all this stuff and I'm like, I wonder what is causing that, because as far as I can tell, like it's it's really just it's really just the same shit, just different day. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like I don't know. Anyways, we need to get off of this topic before I rant about it for a half an hour. So, what is one of your topics of the day, sir?
Well, how about the 3070s, since they're gonna be coming out October 29th? And my question to you is, will they have enough to meet their demand, or is it going to be another shortage problem with 3080s and 3090s?
Personally, I think they're going to have enough. I think somehow they've managed to have enough. Um, I don't know how they're going to do that, especially if they've had nothing but problem. nothing but problems. Um, I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna do that. I really don't, because how are they bolstering production? That's the question. How are you bolstering production if you can't do it for your flagships? How are you going to do it for the 3070s? Unless you finally kick down enough doors that they're running everybody around the clock.
I don't know, maybe, but I don't know how that's possible either because, like you said, off air, the virus could slow down people. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I don't know either, dude. Like, as far as I'm concerned, it's at a point now where you have to kind of consider this. You have to consider it as something where, how do you keep up with it? You can't keep up with it because of the situation that you're in with supply shortages and material shortages and things not moving as quickly as they used to, and everybody up in arms because everybody's gotten used to things going at a certain pace. And now you don't have that. Now you really don't have that. And the only reason why you don't have that is because nobody will just say, well, we're kind of screwed. Here, give me a second. I got to put something on my... Hold on. Oh, shit. I had to put my pop filter on my mic. Give me a second. No, that's not the right one. Fucking A. Can you hear me or not? Matt? Hello?
Yeah. Hello?
Well, you went terribly quiet there. What the hell's going on?
I don't know, but I could hear you. What were you doing?
I was trying to put the pop filter on my mic.
Oh, I thought your cat got on. Sorry for the technical difficulties Nick's having here.
Okay, there.
Hey, got it?
Yeah.
Ow.
Is the audio quality at least a little better?
No?
Well, there.
Because I
Well,
can hear stuff in the background now.
what do you mean you can hear stuff in the background?
Like, I can hear creaking.
That's my chair.
I know, that's what I mean. I couldn't hear that before.
Really? When I didn't have this
Yeah.
filter on, you couldn't hear that?
Hmm.
Hold on. Then I gotta turn my mic around. Oh, wait. Nope, I want to leave that up. We're just a professional show over here. So that's what we are. We are audio professionals. Always have been, always will be. Come on. Stay put. This thing. I hate this thing. This thing sucks, man. stay put. What the fuck? Okay, yeah, this thing is dicked. I gotta fix it later. Gotta tighten this thing back up. Okay. Sorry about the technical difficulties. But, anyways, you had things that you were
Nick,
talking
you're like,
about.
no, really? This is not good audio now.
Is that better?
Yes, it is. I can hear you better now.
Jesus Christ.
Sound like a little echo the last time. Sound like you're like 10 feet apart from your mic.
Well, yeah, because I'm sitting over here.
Don't know what there means.
I was leaning back in my chair. You know, these are all things that we probably should have had fixed before we started, but I didn't have time to do
I
it.
agree. What are you doing now?
I'm trying to just give me a second here. Yeah, you can probably hear me doing that. It's probably very, very annoying. I'm sorry, but
Not just to me.
oh, shut up. Everything annoys you. I don't have to worry about things annoying you because everything annoys you.
Sounds like you're beating on something.
There we go. Now that's better. There we go. Okay. So.
Okay, we're good?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Okay, take 2.
Oh, shut up. Yeah, I know. We're not perfect. But no, what I was going to say was, yeah, I 3070 thing, that whole, there's going to be a lot of, tinfoil hat cats out there coming up with any kind of, coming up with a lot of reasons to basically say, well, there's going to be plenty of 3070. There's going to be plenty of 3070s out there. I guarantee that. I do think that they're going to satisfy whatever. Because, like I said, I think because of the price drop, everybody just said, screw it. I kind of want a 3080, So I think that was kind of the big thing, too, is that because of that price drop, I do think that a lot of people decided that, yeah, no, I want that. So. So, yeah, I mean, I just, I don't know. I don't see any good reason. I don't see any good reason for people to really get too worked up about it, I guess. Because I really don't think that there's going to be a lot of call for it. I really think that there's going to be enough people are going to get satisfied by it. I do think that the price is going to lend itself to a lot of like mid-range guys. It's a big enough leap to get a lot of mid-range guys interested in it. And I think there's going to be a lot of budget people. You know what I mean? Because if you buy a new Ryzen 3700, you can go with a cheaper B550 board. You can even run a B450, and you can get away with it. And then you run a 3700X you run a 3070, and it's a pretty good budget build there. You kind of cheap out a little bit on your memory, but you got a really good card there, so why wouldn't you just do that? I mean, I don't see any good reason for anybody to get too crazy about it. But yeah, the only thing I worry about, and the other thing about that is the biggest thing that I worry about is there all of a sudden going to be enough stock of the 3080s and 3090s when the 3070s release? Is it all of a sudden, like in a month or less than a month, all of a sudden, holy crap, there's enough out there because there were enough people that canceled their pre-orders?
I don't think so. I think they're gonna pop up more stores, but online, I think it's gonna be the same. But I think you might be right about. I just look. I think they are going to just pop up on the stores, retail stores like Best Buy or Micro Centers.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think they're going to pop online. They're definitely not going to be Nvidia's website. Um, and to answer your question on launch date for the 3070s, I don't think there is going to be any. I think it might become the same problem. They did delay the release because what it was this week they were supposed to do it, right? For the 3070s is this
I
week.
think so. If I
It was the
remember the
16th.
original,
It was the 16th.
if I remember in Jensen's little, you know, stream,
Hmm.
I believe he said it was supposed to be this week or the week previous.
Because now it's the end of October now, 29th. So
Yeah, they changed it to the day before Halloween.
yeah, and that's the day before Big Navi releases theirs.
Yeah.
AMD.
Yeah,
Um,
before Big Navi gets announced and everybody you know, shits their pants about that one for 5 minutes.
yeah, but
I wonder
no, I don't think. To answer your question, I don't think they're going to release more 3080s and 3090s
you know what
by the
I
end of
wonder? And this is an
by
honest
December.
you know what I wonder, and this is an honest question. I wonder how this is going to help AMD's sales with Big Navi.
Oof. I mean, it's supposed to be they are titling this. At least some people are. They're calling this the Nvidia killer.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I wonder how this is going to help AMD's sales.
Yeah.
I really do.
Are they going to be the same boat? Are they going to be like
I don't think so.
they're going to run out
I
and
don't
then
think so.
they're going to be like due to shortages we cannot release anymore.
AMD already had that problem. Remember when the 3900 released?
Yeah.
AMD's already had that problem. I think they've put enough safeguards in place for that one.
You think so? Oh, I don't
I
know.
think so. I think AMD has basically went over there wherever they're getting these chips. I don't know if they're going to be
Because
the
the other thing, dude,
Samsung
the other thing,
process or the
dude.
TSMC process. Are they
Yeah.
did they go to Samsung or TSMC? I want
You
to say they
gotta
went to TSMC.
yeah, they might have. But dude, look, let's throw this at you then.
Mm-hmm.
With this question about AMD, how this is boosting their sales. Well, what if you think about Nvidia? People pissed off about Nvidia's, they have to wait 6 months or whatever. It's not going to be a quick fix. And AMD's like, hey, we got these new big juicy flagship cards out coming out. Want some?
Yeah, no, I do. Like I said, that's why I'm saying I wonder how much this is going to help AMD's sales
Yeah,
on
I
those
think
cards,
it'd be interesting, dude.
especially if they're competitively priced. Like
Yeah.
let's say
How
like
much were they again? I forgot. Did they say the price right? Didn't we
I
do a
think they
price one?
said the top notch card was going to cost like $700 or $800.
Hey, that's not bad.
That was the number I heard. That was the number
Yeah.
I heard. That's not the number. I'm not saying that that's a confirmed number, but that was a number that I had heard floated out there.
Okay.
Let me do some research, but yeah, just keep going on your point.
But anyways, yeah, like I said, AMD's like, hey, we got these new cards, um, you want some? To an Nvidia customer that's angry and can't wait,
Yeah,
impulsive buyer
yeah,
says screw it. You know, it just like any other competitor comes and takes your customer. Um, you know, I could see that happening. I could see, people just get pissed off at Nvidia and they just
yeah.
go to AMD. Um,
Mm-hmm.
at even at terrible prices, I think they'll still win.
I think they'll still win if they can keep the cost low.
I don't think so, dude. I think if they have cards ready, right, Nick, they can still get some of those customers, dude. I believe that. If they have those cards ready and they can say
Uh-huh.
they can launch them, you don't have to wait. How long you have to wait? I think it'd be 6 months to a year for the Nvidia, in my opinion. Um, but if they can send them in 3 days, if whenever you order them,
Yeah.
even
No,
at really dumb prices, like let's say $1,500, I still think a lot of people would buy them.
I to a certain point, I do believe that you're correct. I do think that there will be enough people out there that will say, "Screw it! I just want a new card. I already have a system built, and I'm waiting for a card."
Yeah.
I think if there's enough people out there, yeah, they'll win it statistically. But I do have a price for you. Given Big Navi will
Okay.
be a high-end graphics card, we'd not be shocked. We wouldn't be shocked.
Is that you saying that or them saying
That's
that?
me correcting them.
Okay.
Um, we wouldn't be shocked to see it also sit around the $700 mark. So these guys are saying it's plausible to be around the $700 mark
Yeah,
for
so
the
let's
high
say
end
they double it.
flagship.
Let's say they double it because people, start scalping them, like you said. I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
got those guys out there. Um, I still think you'll get people to pay for that.
Yeah, and so do I. I do think you're probably right. I do think a lot of people will probably pay for it. Um, but I mean, and then they're also predicting that the price could drop to somewhere around $500,
Oh,
especially
dude,
if
no way.
especially if um, especially if their benchmarks are as good as they are. I say $700 is more than enough. I say seven hundred
Yeah.
dollars is probably where that nice little sweet spot is.
You truly think they're going to drop? I don't see that.
I don't see it either.
Maybe if it was not their flagship, but if it was like a mid
If it
card,
was gonna be, if it was gonna be like say a 5600 XT replacement, I'd say
yeah,
yeah, $500.
okay. But
But if
yeah, if
it's
it's their
but if it's
flagship,
gonna be
big,
if yeah if it's gonna be a 5700 replacement, yeah, I'd say around 700
yeah, definitely, dude.
or even a Vega replacement because they need to replace those Vegas because those things were fucking screwed from launch. They sucked.
Yeah.
Um, and
My
since they've been
only fear,
spending, and now here's the other thing too, they have a
my
lot
only
more
fear,
practice with it now,
yeah,
especially with them now being in all the major consoles. They have a lot more practice with the whole ray tracing thing and on all kinds of different processes and all kinds of different systems. So I mean, I do think that they're gonna have this pretty well worked out. I do think Radeon is finally gonna have an actual quality card that isn't beginner level. I think they're finally going to have an actual flagship card.
I also think, dude, my fear is too with these cards, and you know, it might happen still, but I'm afraid we start reading, a couple days later after they launch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, people are complaining about how they're melting down their systems, or they're crashing.
I really hope not, because that was kind of the big problem with the 5700s.
Yeah.
They were having constant graphics crashes.
Or third party cards are like, you know,
Well,
not
well, that's
doing
what that,
close to their benchmarks.
that's what was happening with that's what was happening with the 3000s when
Yeah.
people first started unboxing them and benchmarking them and testing them.
Hmm.
People were
It's
having
only
that
the
problem.
popular editions that are going to do that, not the third party ones. It's like, come on.
Yeah, yeah. No, it was an issue. But now I guess Nvidia has released some new graphics drivers and things, and it sounds like it's pretty well figured out. But
I
and
think it could be hard drive, or yeah, it could be their hardware, not their software. So
yeah, I think it is. I think that when the third parties got a hold of it, because I do think Nvidia gave them the directive of you can do whatever you want so long as you don't jack the price way the hell up there.
yeah,
I think Nvidia kind of gave them marching orders, and they had to hit a price point. And when it comes to third party cards, a lot of people are willing to pay extra for third party cards because third party cards will come with like already preset overclocks, which means you have to put a lot more production time into it, which means you got to get your money
Yeah.
back somehow.
But is there anything else you want to talk about the 3070s? Because I pretty much ranted on there for like 5 minutes.
No, no, we're good. We're good. If you want to move it on to something else, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, we can move it on. What do you got next, man?
Let's talk motherboards. We've been doing that a lot
Okay.
lately, but let's talk motherboards, okay? Because
Yep.
um
We're not talking about yours. We talked enough about that one.
no, no, and I'm still
Okay.
testing it. I'm still testing it. I'm still
Okay.
putting it through its paces, and I'm still testing it. And although I will say this though, I started playing Forza again,
Yep.
and when you go into Horizon 4 now, and you
Hmm.
on my new board and everything, it actually changed my graphics quality to ultra.
Oh wow.
It preset changed it.
Okay.
So I do think that the change in board helped that. I do think it helped that because it actually did function really really well. It was sitting at around it was sitting at around 144 frames the whole time. So I would say that's pretty good, and it
Yeah.
was running at like 1440p, so almost 4K.
Yeah. Not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. But what other motherboards you want to talk about?
I want to have a conversation with you about um, about motherboards because
Okay.
we do need to start considering these choices for you for the near future. Especially with all of this new hardware and mid-range hardware coming out, you need to make a very educated decision, correct? Because you're the price for performance guy around here. But
Well, what about the B 550s? Or people like those?
I know people like those. I know they do. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't get one. And I'm also not saying that you should not consider an X570. You are going to pay a premium for an X570, but the X570s usually have a higher
And do you
power
think they'll
phase.
go down? You think they'll go down? I know the 450s. Have they gone down or gone up?
Oh, they've gone down. Their price has already hit the bottom, or pretty close to the bottom. You can actually pick up a really good B550 or B450 for like $100 now.
Oh wow. Yeah,
Like
that has gone down.
if I go, okay, so I'm on Newegg right now. I'm gonna make sure on this. AMD motherboards. Ooh, what? Where's the B450s? Oh, here we go. B450s. Okay, so let's apply changes. Yeah, you can get a really good Asus Strix, which is that's a good board. That's a really good board. It has really good power phase, very reliable, very few issues with them ever. They just a lot of the B550s didn't ever really come with a lot of the like they didn't really come with a lot of the luxuries. You can pick that one up for $127.
Like, would you say like they didn't really have a really good cooling system,
Mm-mm,
or
mm-mm, mm-mm.
airflow wasn't that good, or
I
stuff
wouldn't
like
say
that? Or
I wouldn't say that at all. Those boards they just didn't come with bug detection. They didn't come with the they didn't come with the a lot of them didn't come with shit. What am I trying to say here? They didn't come with the error detectors and stuff like that. They came with detection lights, so you had to watch the lights. Some of them didn't have a whole lot of heat sinks, but there again, they were kind of building them to a price. But the Strix, though, if you get the Strix, that has some nice thick heat sinks on it. It has a chipset fan. I mean, you've got plenty of SATA ports. You got 3 graphics card slots, so 3 PCIe Express slots. Those are all steel sleeved. I mean, it's a quality board. It's just it's not as good as an X570. Let's just put it that way. X570s are more of your premium boards. Um, and there's a lot of good options out there for B550 or B450. Um, there's there's still a lot of good MSI options out there if you want to stick with MSI. There's the mortar boards if you wanted to build a smaller computer, because I know you've talked about going to a more desk-sized case. Like if you wanted to go micro ATX, there's a lot of good mortar boards out there that have a lot of good functionality to them. But again, you're gonna notice very quickly that if I were to lend you my PC for a week, you would fall in love with this thing because that board makes life so much easier. And there is that very clear performance gap. It's not really a quality gap, it's more of a performance gap. Hello?
Nick?
Yeah, now I can.
Okay. Um, what about the MSI Pro Z490?
Z490s, you would be running those with what would you be running this
Talking about
with?
the Pro, A Pro, the
Oh,
Z490 A Pro.
Z490A Pro?
Yeah.
Dude, that's a Z board. That's an Intel
hmm
board.
What do you think of those?
I mean, if you're going to switch to Intel, I got no problem with that.
Well, I'm just look, dude. I'm not, I'm just seeing here, what my options are. You know what I mean? Some other boards you're thinking.
The Intel boards, the MSI Intel boards, they do come with a lot of overclocking options
hmm
because that's kind of what you do with an Intel. You overclock an Intel. Or you have that thing running so hot that you basically hyper thread it everywhere. Usually that's how it goes with Intels. You either
Yeah,
overclock or you have it set up so it's hyper threading all the time.
I know, but the only reason it's not like over 200. It's a decent price. It's 150. Um,
Yeah,
you know, so I mean, look, um, that's like you said. I'm more of a price, for what you get kind of person.
yeah. But no, I mean, if you're looking strictly at price or performance,
Yeah.
B450 would be a good option to maintain, but you may have to go to a higher up the ladder board. Also, I have heard that they have been changing a lot of the firmware stuff
hmm
with these processors, and there have been a lot of BIOS changes on the website that you have to download to kind of make the 3000s work the way that they're supposed to, that then locks the CPU into that BIOS so
Okay.
you can't go backward,
hmm
which kind of sucks, and a lot of AMD people are kind of pissed off about it because the best part about AMD was that so long as it had a TR4 socket, or not a TR4, an AM4 socket, you could
hmm
basically, play around on any board you wanted,
hmm
you know. But now I guess the
hmm
3000s, because they've been having some firmware issues, a lot of board makers have been coming out with firmware changes for their boards that are basically locking you into an X570.
Yeah.
and I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
Well,
I'm
it's kind of a. They give you less options, so.
yeah, but that's kind of an AMD issue.
Well,
It's
I
not a board
understand that, but
issue. It's an AMD issue.
that's what I'm trying to get at, though, Nick. I'm saying yes, I understand what you're. I'm not blaming necessarily the board. I'm just blaming, they don't give you options anymore.
Well, to a certain extent, I'm kind of okay with it. But at the same time,
Why?
well,
Just
because
because it makes. But it wasn't it easier to do that stuff? And did you like that? Didn't you prefer it like that?
I kind of did, but now at this point, like I'm kind of ready. I'm kind of ready for the 5,000s. Let's just put it that way. I'm kind of ready for the 5,000s.
Well, how do you know they're not going to do it to those too? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. What if
I
they
I
do those two?
I don't know. I really don't
But if they
know.
do, though,
Uh, if they do, I'm not gonna cry. Let's just put it
well,
that
I'm
way.
not gonna. I don't think you're. I shouldn't cry. I'm not. If you cry, you need help. But I'd be pissed off because look, they're probably going to be what, $300? You're guessing?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, dude. And you don't get as many options as you did when you got now what $100 board can give you. Might have some firmware problems, but
You know. Yeah, I know. And
I don't know.
honestly, the more I think about it, I get where you're coming from with that, but at the same time, like I would say this, okay?
Okay,
If
what?
they're having the firmware issues, I guess I'd rather have it fixed and I'd rather have a solution for it rather than sitting here and screwing around with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'd
but isn't
rather
that the fun of it? Look, I'm just look.
I enjoy fixing problems on my own. I get that.
Yes.
Okay, I'm the kind of person where yes, I do like fixing these issues on my own. But at the same time, there are just plenty of days where I just want to use my computer. I don't care. I just want to use my computer. And if it's a problem that I've created that I then have to fix, I'm okay with that.
But once again, it wasn't your problem; it was AMD's problem,
Yeah,
like you.
yeah.
So once again, look, all I'm getting at here is it's disappointing that they're going that route and
Hmm.
they can't fix it and make you happy at the same time.
Well, good news is
You know what I mean?
this. Good
What?
news is this. Okay, since
Unless
we,
they're going to do something extra for you, I don't
yeah,
know what. And what would the extra be?
I I don't know, dude.
I don't know, dude. But I'm
I'm
probably. Yeah, we should move it on. I kind of rant. My answers are kind of getting backtracked here. I mean, they're kind of saying the same
well, yeah,
thing. I'm kind of going. I'm kind of rehashing the same problems here. So,
yeah.
uh,
You always do though, so I kind of expect it.
oh, you dick, you do the exact same thing I do sometimes when you go on a rant.
Yeah, I know, but I yeah, but the the other thing I wanted to talk about was I wanted to ask you what your thoughts were on the 5000 series
Okay,
since AMD has
you
talked
can't
about
move
it.
a 4,000 series, which doesn't make sense to me, but
Well,
whatever.
because they use the 4000 series in the mobile processors.
Yeah, they just canceled those.
They did? When did they do
Yeah,
that?
just to go to the 5,000.
Oh. Oh, that's right. Okay, never mind. I remember that now. Um,
Yeah.
but I was gonna ask you, do you think? Because I know I wanted to do a 3950 build, but should I wait and go to a 5950 build?
Ooh, man, that's ooh,
I kind
that's
of
a
feel like going to a
that's a
5950.
good question because I mean, ooh, this could be a good one. The
Because
5,000s could be good.
thinking about it, the 5000s are more of a killer than anything. Like they're all killer, no filler. If their internal benchmarks can be believed, these things are more of a killer than the 3000s.
Oh, definitely.
If their internal benchmarks can be believed. Because apparently this is going to spin up to almost 5 gigahertz.
Yeah.
I mean, that's impressive, especially for 16 core processor. 16 cores. I mean, let's read here. Okay, so Ryzen 9 5950X, base clock 3.4, boost clock 4.9, almost 5 gigahertz. That's impressive. And even the 5900 is almost 5 gigahertz. You don't start seeing a huge drop. Like, all of them across the deck are at almost 5 gigahertz. I mean, that's good. That's really good.
Yeah. I don't
And
know. Then you got to think about other things, not just their boost speed. What about? Do you think about their improved power effectiveness, their higher cores, the thread count? I mean, you got to think about that too.
yeah, no, I mean, on top of that, you have 72 megabytes of memory cache, internal memory cache. And the biggest thing about these 5000 series is that everything is going back to one main memory bank now. Instead of it being a two-layer memory bank, it's now one memory bank. So now everything is drawing off of the same. So you'll have more symmetry between core and thread, which will make it even more effective at higher boost clocks.
Yeah.
So that's I mean that's good. And it's only going to be doing it with 105 watts, which I mean that's a good power number.
Yeah.
When it came to Intel's 10th gens, they couldn't get under 200.
No, dude, they burn out way too. They burn out way faster.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they might be. Some of them might be higher speed, but yeah, you won't have them for very long.
No, no, you could boost a 10th gen Intel to like 5.2 or 5.3, but
5.3.
yeah, but the meltdown is going to happen a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Even
The
with their
lifespan is a
updated
lot
heat
shorter.
spreader.
The lifespan is a lot shorter, and then it's like, how much you pay for that card, and do you love that you have to pay another card where you can get an AMD that's twice as long? It's not as fast, but it's twice as long,
Yeah, no,
and consume as much power, so you can save on that.
yeah, no, I know what you're saying when it comes to that, but at the same time, 16 core, 32 thread. Just gonna let that sink in for a second. 16 core,
Yeah.
32 thread. That is a
Yeah, no,
monster.
I heard you the second. I heard it the first time.
They're finally starting to approach like Threadripper 29 what was that, 2950 territory. 2950 WX territory. Like we're getting there. Like their desktop consumer chips are starting to approach Threadripper territory.
Wow.
And if you know how to format your system, you can make this thing into a monster.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it. There's so many good things about this new generation of Ryzen's. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good. I honestly, like, I'm waiting for it now. I'm at the point now where I'm like, I might just wait. You know, and it's to the yeah, it's gotten to the point where I just kind of look at it and I go, you know what? I mean, we talk a lot about AMD on this show, but there again, I mean, they're the ones doing all the interesting stuff right now.
They are.
Intel is just kind of maintaining course. So I mean, they're really just maintaining course, and that's it's tough. It's really tough to look at it.
It
It's
is, but
because you see it and you go, the the gaming performance part of it. Yeah, okay, fine. Intel, ooh, you can do it. Ooh
yeah.
boy. But you don't use it for that all the time.
Mm-mm.
Unless that's really all you do. If that's really all you want to do, then yeah, Intel. Use an Intel. I'm not going to stop you. But if you're going to do anything else, why wouldn't you use an AMD?
Yeah. I don't disagree with you on that one.
But but yeah, I mean, I'm looking at, okay, so the Threadripper 3990X, right? This is a 64 core, I think it was 64, 128 thread,
Okay.
fucking behemoth. $3,900 still. But like I
Yeah.
said, we're beginning to approach low end Threadripper territory in these desktop CPUs.
Yep.
In just consumer grade chips, we are
Yep.
approaching that territory.
Mhm.
I I'm I'm just blown away by the type of performance you can get out of
Dude,
consumer grade chips.
we're pushing that envelope to shreds. I mean, that's what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're right. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Some of these numbers.
Yeah. And it's
And
not
what's
like,
even crazier are some of these prices.
yeah, like they only want like what'd they say on that? Was it I want to say they had that thing priced at I think 749
Mhm.
for the new 5950X. Like it was like 749 or 750,
Yeah.
which dude, more power to you. I mean, that is a high quality chip for pretty
Yep.
good money. Really good money actually. Um and I can't say one way or the other what I would do because I'm at the point now where I just kind of look at it and go, yeah, totally worth it. But we should probably kick it over to another subject before we talk about this for God knows how long. Um,
Yeah. Are we at an hour yet?
yeah, yeah, we just actually hit an hour.
Oh, okay.
Um, let's let's talk about well, since we're kind of at that point now where it's like any subject goes time. Usually this is whiskey corner, but the two of us I've been working a lot, haven't really had a lot of time to just sit down and drink a little bit. So we're going to kick it
Yeah.
over to a subject that I would like to talk about. And it's a subject that I don't get to talk about a whole lot. And I'm okay with it. I know what type of show this is. I know not a lot of people care about cars. Um, but I want to talk about cars.
Okay.
You can seem a little bit more excited. I haven't bored you with this in a long time.
I know it's been a long time. It has been a long time. Other than video games, it has been a long time.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So your excitement could get a little bit higher.
Oh, please go on, Nick. I'm so excited.
See, there you go. I knew you could do it.
Yes, let's
Um,
do it. I'm pumped. Let's do it, baby. Too much?
little bit, little bit.
Okay, sorry.
But I wanna talk to you about, and this is actually going to cross over into the tech world. I want to talk to you about electric vehicles.
What?
Yeah,
Wait, what?
yeah.
the F and fuck are you talking about?
I like how you tried not to swear and then you swore anyways. um, but no, I've just been I don't know, on my way home from work some days I've been seeing a lot more Teslas around.
Yep. Yep.
And I don't know if that's because a lot more of them are hitting the used market or if that's just because they're becoming more and more available.
I think it's both.
I think a lot more of them are hitting the used market. I don't think a lot of people are buying new ones. I think a lot of people are seeing them on the used market.
I don't know. I don't really know much about it, but you think so?
I do think so. Tesla, let's see here. Tesla
Right here, I got a
sales
report. I don't know if this is
as
right, but it
of.
says electric cars that cost less to own.
Okay, so Tesla sold 367,000 vehicles in 2019, which is about 578,000 short of what Ford sold in the calendar year of 2019. But the company, well, it's on the low end of the estimate of 360 to 400,000 vehicles delivered that the company offered up at the beginning of 2019. The Silicon Valley automaker still sold more cars in 2019 than it did in the previous 2 years combined. All thanks to the popularity of the Model 3 sedan. Okay, so yeah, they're starting to say that it's becoming more popular because they've made a more consumer friendly sedan. Which, yeah, that's true. The Model 3 is a lot more consumer friendly. It's bigger, it's a nicer vehicle, and a lot of their sales numbers are not just taken from the US. That's around the world. They're saying that these cars are being sold more in Europe and China than they are here.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Um which is all right with me. I don't really care.
Well, it's more liberal over there too.
Mhm. Mhm. But I guess their total sales numbers for the fourth quarter of 2019 was 112,000 total. Um, that was just the fourth quarter alone. Was 100 and what I say 104,000? Yeah, no, 112,000. Their production number was 104,000, but they delivered 112,000 vehicles. So there was probably just a lot of people that already had something on pre-order. Um, but yeah, no, I just wanted to talk about that because I'm curious to see what you think of it because I do think a lot more people are going down that direction, especially now that it's becoming more affordable. Like I know the two of us talked about this, and my whole thing is this: is I'm not a Tesla buyer. I'm not a believer in all electric. I'm just not. I do think that there's a place for hybrid technologies or even internal combustion retrofitting to run more ecologically friendly fuels, but I don't
Porsche
believe
has
that.
an all electric car.
Huh?
Porsche has an all electric car now.
Yeah, the Taycan. You didn't know about that,
No.
dude? That thing's a
Why would
monster.
I know about? Why would I know about that?
I don't know because it was even reported on CNET.
Dude, once again, why would I? I don't go to CNET.
Tom's Hardware even picked it up.
Okay,
PC
I don't
Mag
get
even talked
more.
about it.
I get certain notifications. I don't get notifications on vehicles. Okay.
I mean, PC Mag even talked about it because they were using a Windows
That's
operating system
that's
in their.
good. Even got for real. This is powerful.
Yeah, that thing scoots, man.
Only 100 grand. Hmm.
Yeah, it scoots. That thing's
But
a
anyways, sorry about interrupting you there.
um. But anyways, so the whole the whole thing that I'm wondering is this, and like I said, I want to hear your take on this because I don't know how you feel about the whole thing, but
Hmm.
I I kind of want to hear from you, somebody who's not into cars like I am, because like I said, I'm not a
Yep.
Tesla buyer. I never will be a
Okay.
Tesla buyer.
I'll
But
probably not be either, but go on.
but my whole thing is this. I don't mind the idea of alternative fuels. I don't mind the idea of new technologies, but I don't believe that full electric is the way forward. I never
Okay.
have. I never have.
No, I haven't either.
I've always
Me and you agree
believed
on that.
I've always believed that it was going to be a hybrid, or it was going to be
Yep.
something of a retrofit to make internal combustion engines run on a different type of fuel. Not
Okay, yeah, I
necessarily
agree with that one.
not necessarily 100% full electric. So what I'm wondering is this: is why is everybody buying into full electric all of a sudden? Maybe not. I don't believe it's a political choice. I believe it's more people just changing their attitude to the idea.
Well, there's also some arguments that's cheaper still, if you get if you take care of your car right.
Yes, if you're I believe that it is cheaper for people that have maybe 60 miles both ways to work. It could be cheaper. I've never actually done the
Over the
math.
lifetime, no, saying over the lifetime. Yeah,
I've never like I said, I've never actually done the math. I don't know.
yeah.
I'd have to do the math to find out. But I I I do believe
I
that it
mean,
could
we've
be
had electric cars for a while now, so it's not like it's not impossible to check that out now.
no, no, and you're right.
It's what
You're
it's
right.
been what, 20 years now at least. That I mean, they have improved, but it's at least
The
over
concept
20 years now.
yeah, the concept has been not quite 20 years. I would say more like 15 that it's actually been an
15.
active
Okay.
consumer idea for about like 15 years, I think, cuz I believe the Tesla Roadster came out in I want to say it was '07 or '08.
Is that the very first electric company, or was there another company
No, no,
that big,
there were other electric car companies for a while
not
after
including
that.
the big four, not including the big four?
No, 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 no. I'm not even including them. I'm talking about small
Okay.
little startups. There were small little startups in the 70s. Not in the U.S. It was in Europe, but there were some small electric startups in Europe long before the
Okay.
turn of the century. But there again, it worked in Europe because you had such a close distance to wherever you were going. You know, like little villages could maybe be like 10 miles from your house, and that little village had a grocery store. So 10 miles in a little electric car, that's not a big deal. I mean, even then you could do 10 miles. You could do more than that. I believe there was one company that had like a little electric car that would do like 100 miles on a charge. So I mean it's a modest number. It's nothing to write home about, but it's a modest number. So what I'm wondering is, I guess my whole thing is this: is I'm not really overly concerned about. I'm not really overly concerned about the. I'm not really overly concerned about all of the about all of the political reasons for why people are doing this, because I do know that there is political motivation to some of it.
Big time, big time.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not concerned about that at all. I'm more concerned about why are people making that switch now, and not just this year. I'm talking about over the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Is it because they've boosted the range enough that people kind of start thinking it's starting to make sense, or is it just because people are becoming more ecologically aware?
I think it's both. I think it's both. They improve the battery life, and or how far it goes, and also think it is. Yeah, it's people. More people are getting aware of this stuff.
Hmm.
Too political, but with the climate.
Yeah, no, and that's like I said, I do believe that that's a big driving factor for some people, but I don't
That might just go on a rant. it's about electric cars. It is. Well, it's
Yeah.
about more about gasoline cars. But did you know what California's gonna do?
Yeah, they're basically telling everybody you have to use an electric car by what is it, like 20?
2035.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. 2035. You cannot sell a gas car anywhere in California.
Yeah. I did. I did hear about that.
In
And I know
2050, you cannot drive.
I did hear about that, yeah. And
Now, those are numbers. I don't know if they'll exist at that time because that's still whoa, that's still long.
yeah,
30 years away.
that's
But
still a long ways away. And there could still be some regime changes between now and then.
oh yeah, or there could be something better. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
30 years is a long while. We can discover a lot of things between.
Yeah, we can. And that's the thing. Like, I don't know why everyone has decided to put their chips on that one. You know what I mean?
I think it's just more like California's got to do something exciting.
I
They have to be that. They have to be that first state to do it.
yeah, yeah, and I do buy that. I do think you're right about that. But at the same time, like I said, why now? Why is it now? Like within the last 3 years, all of a sudden I start seeing more Teslas. I start
It's
seeing
because it's also because, like you said, Nick. I don't want to get too political, like I keep trying to say here. I don't want to keep saying that, but I think it's because of the hysteria. I mean, internet, social media has just been for the last 5 years, at least I've seen. You know, you gotta make the clean. You gotta make the earth cleaner and all this,
yeah,
and or you don't, it's irreversible. You're gonna destroy it and all that stuff. You know, I think people have grown up. I think younger people have grown up and they can afford those kind of vehicles, or at least used one.
yeah,
And they for those.
yeah. I don't think that these are new car buyers.
I
Like,
would love to see if new buyers. I'd love to see the data on new.
yeah, yeah.
How
Well,
young they are.
the
And
numbers.
the thing of the
Yeah, I would like to see the demographic breakdown. That's what I would like to see.
yeah.
I would like to see what the age range of people are that are buying these things. That would be the deciding factor for me, because I would love to see, is it people over 60 or is it people over 30?
Yeah.
Because if it's people over 30, then you can pretty much say that this is a political thing. If it's people over 60, you can kind of make that claim, but you can also kind of make the claim
Now
at they're the old hippies that are more concerned about the environment than they are the
I
politics.
won't. I won't ask which company you used to work for, but you used to work for a dealership that had a certain vehicle. Now, how far were they going to electric?
Uh,
You
you,
don't have to give up the name.
you'd have to be more specific about the brand, because I worked for a few.
About, the Germans, because I've heard a lot more about
Oh,
the Germans.
oh, oh! You're talking about Mercedes.
Yeah, I
Um.
didn't know if we wanted to talk about that on
Oh,
here.
that
So,
doesn't that doesn't bother me at all.
okay.
I just don't want to use the dealer's name.
Yeah, I won't. Okay.
The brand, anybody can look up the brand.
Well,
And there's
yeah, okay.
multiple dealers in this state, so nobody'll know. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's they weren't exactly throwing all the chips on electric. Let's put it that way. They were beginning to
Really?
start offering it, but they weren't throwing all the chips at it.
Okay. But you haven't really heard about Europe and how they,
Uh
because they probably had to do a
BMW
5-year plan.
BMW is going to start making more electric vehicles in the next couple of years. They're starting to gear up their factories for it.
Yep.
Volkswagen has been gearing up their factories for it since Dieselgate. So probably like 2017, 2018, they've been gearing their factories up for it. So eventually, they're going to be offering, for every gas-powered vehicle, they're going to be offering at least two other full electric options. Um, BMW is just going to basically make electric versions of all their cars, is what they're saying they're going to do. So you'll still be able to buy a 5 Series, but you'll be able to buy a 5 Series that's electric. And then Mercedes knows their customers. They know exactly who their customers are because they've been buying a Mercedes since they could afford a car.
Hmm.
And albeit it is true that Mercedes does not, they don't sell a lot of S classes, but a lot of their buyers expect a premium vehicle.
Yep.
And in their eyes, a premium vehicle runs on gasoline.
Hmm.
And that's the thing. Like that's the biggest difference. Is when you buy a Mercedes, it's supposed to be a premium vehicle. That's the difference. That's
Now,
why they've been
how
so
about
slow
this,
with it.
Nick? I'm gonna go some science fiction here on this. Do you either support gasoline, uh, ones that can fly, or electric ones? Because it's probably going to be one of those two main sources that are going to power it.
Electric.
Okay. Because Japan has actually been floating a taxi service here.
Electric in that case.
Okay. So you don't think gasoline?
No, no, I don't.
Okay.
Because for large ride sharing and stuff like that, like if you have a
Hmm.
taxi service, I could see why you would want an electric vehicle. You have lower maintenance costs. Yes, you don't have the range, but you do have lower maintenance costs. So from a business standpoint, your lower maintenance cost would make sense.
Okay, dude. I've been looking up electric cars. Mercedes-Benz teases a super effective electric car that has more than 750 miles of range on a single charge.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I said they didn't throw all their chips in that basket until they're ready. Like that's the
Holy
thing
crap,
about
dude!
them.
That would be the would that be the longest ever
Mm,
for a single
pretty
charge?
pretty close, I think. If
Damn,
not, it's pretty close. But that's the
that'd be
thing. That's the
that's
thing, though, dude.
150. Would you think that's 150?
Yeah, probably.
Mm,
But you see, that's the thing. They don't throw their chips in the basket until they know they can create a market. As soon as they
okay.
start seeing the market change, then they throw their chips in the basket, and they've been very quietly working on things like that. Mercedes is that kind of company where there's like 100 different layers to something.
Mhm.
You don't just go in and demand to see somebody. There's 100 different layers you have to get through.
Yeah.
It's like I said, when they say that they've been working on something, they've been working on something for a long, long time.
Yeah.
You just don't see it,
Mhm.
and that's usually how it works with them. You just but but yeah, the as far as that question goes, yeah, they weren't they it sounded like they were going to start gearing up for it, but they didn't throw their chips in the basket yet.
Yep.
So
I also think you're gonna see more. I don't just consumers. I think you're gonna see probably more businesses too ride electric cars too.
I do think you're right. I do
I
think
think
you're right.
I see another article here saying that Amazon wants to
Yeah, they want to be
use
100%.
their new electric delivery vans,
Yeah, they want to
and they
be.
want to have at least 10,000 vehicles by 2022.
Yeah, and they've been talking about going carbon neutral for the last couple of years. So this
Yeah, I
that
know they
that, that news doesn't really surprise me.
have. I'm just
Um,
saying it's not just consumers; it's also businesses are kind of
and
going
like
that
I
route
said,
too.
from a business standpoint, it makes sense because you have lower vehicle cost. You have
Hmm.
you have the initial cost of purchasing it, but your maintenance cost is so much less.
Yeah.
And I totally get it. If you're those companies, you can afford to run an entire fleet because you don't have to change oil, you don't have to change CV shafts, you don't have to worry about a transmission going out, you don't have to worry about changing spark plugs. Before you know it, by the time you've done all those services, you've got 30 grand into a vehicle that has to run every day.
Yep.
Or you just plug it in and recharge it.
Mm.
And then your biggest cost is changing the batteries. And by that point, you've already got 200,000 miles on it, and I bet you they've lost their charge at that point. So
Yeah.
at that point, it's already done its job.
Hmm. Yeah. Um.
So yeah, I mean, the more you think about it, and the more you start considering this, it's like, yes, it does actually make sense. It does make sense as a business.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'm not arguing with you on that point. That point makes plenty of sense. I do agree with you. But again, I'm not one of those buyers.
Yeah, that's um, the problem is, and I don't. It's probably, and once again, it's probably not going to be your generation. It's just probably going to be, let's say my nephews or my kids, whatever generation, where you can't say that. They're going to force you
Well,
to be
possibly.
one of those buyer. I
There,
really think though, at some point they're going to force you to either choose. Either you
yeah,
don't drive, you drive my electric car.
yeah. No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm at that point now where I just kind of look at it and I go, I'm not your buyer. I'm not your market.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think that maybe when your nephews are our age or maybe even older, it's gonna start getting to that point where they're gonna start saying you either drive it or die.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's how crazy people are starting to get now.
Mhm.
But I still think there's enough people out there that are saying, just wait a minute, just wait a minute. There's gonna be a new technology coming around the corner. You
Yeah.
know, because there has to be. Because if you're so environmentally conscious, then you would know how much it takes to harvest nickel. And if everybody in the world switches over to electric cars and you have to harvest that much nickel, unless you're going to start coming out with synthetic metals, I
Yeah,
mean,
that's what I was thinking. They're going to change that somehow. Somehow. I can't answer how, but somehow they might change it. Let's say they can. I'm not saying it's turned into another science fiction thing, but let's say they go on a planet that has a lot of nickel or a different kind of same metal.
I mean, okay, fine. If we're going down complete fiction, then yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I know, but I'm pushing it here. I know I'm kind of pushing it here, but I'm learning other things to talk about.
yeah. But anyways, we're gonna end it. We're gonna end it. It's been an
Okay.
hour and 20 minutes. I think we've
That's not. It's totally not a like stupid idea. Okay,
no, no,
I
no,
can
no, no,
see
no.
that happening.
I'm not saying you're wrong either. I'm just saying it's
I still humans are pretty going to consume the universe. Let's just be honest. And that's what we do.
yeah. No, you're right. But yeah.
Oh, did you hear about Russia?
What did they do now?
You gotta love this, Nick. They have declared, I think Venus, their planet. They say it's, and I'm not kidding you.
Go
You can check
figure.
this. This is on the Moscow website.
Oh, for
This ain't
Christ's
some
sake.
bullshit. This is actually real news.
They actually did that. Someone actually
Yes,
said that. Oh my god.
yes. This is actually Russia's planet.
Leave,
This is our property.
leave it to the
That's what I'm
Russians.
getting at.
Leave
That's
it
what
to
I'm
the
getting at.
Russians.
Pretty soon, these countries are declare, more of these countries are going to space, so they're going to start declaring these planets theirs. I can see all this happen. But anyways, yeah, let's get out of my science fiction.
Yeah,
This was
let's get your
hey, this was the
tinfoil hat cat. Let's
yeah,
get you
yeah,
out
yeah.
of
But
here.
this was everything goes kind of out, last couple minutes here.
Yeah. No, but we always do that though. Like we talk straight hardware for at least the first hour, and then after that, it's just kind of like it's a free for all. We try and keep
Yeah.
things interesting. But but yeah, no, let's just we're gonna end it, and we're gonna be back. Maybe I'll do some episode. Maybe we'll do an episode next week in the middle of the week. Maybe that's kind of up in the air, but for sure at least one episode next week. So we're gonna put the tinfoil hat cat to bed over there, and we're just gonna call her a day. So
Mhm.
adios.